the best of us. So I dance the night away when nobody's awake.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tyra's Just Saying, where real talk meets real transformation. We don't just scratch the surface here, we dive deep into the heart, the hustle, and the healing. And today's guest, let me tell y'all, she's been doing all of that. I'm sitting down today with the amazing Jacquelyn Bhones, also known as Nurse Jackie, founder of the Alternate Path Wellness and Transformation Center. She's not your average nurse, okay? She's a trailblazer in functional nursing and holistic body shaping, helping people transform not just how they look, but how they feel from the inside out. Her work blends physical care, mental clarity, and spiritual alignment into something truly powerful. So if you've been craving change, struggling to reclaim your wellness, or just need a reminder that transformation is possible, this episode is for you. Let's talk about healing, body confidence, and walking in the path that was always meant for you. Nurse Jackie, welcome to Tyra's
Hi,
Just Saying. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. So let's get started. How's everything going for you so far? How's your week been? Let's start there. How has your week been?
Well, my week has been it started off pretty good. I still work as a nurse. I do a
Mhm.
combination of things. So I still work as a nurse. I work at a freestanding emergency room here in Houston,
Mm.
Texas. So
Okay.
freestanding ERs are probably not familiar to everybody, but it's where it's
Mhm.
an ER that's not associated or connected to a hospital. So people come
Okay.
in and we see them as ER patients, but if
Mhm.
we don't have a floor to send patients to, we have to put them in an ambulance and send them to the hospital if they're really sick.
Okay. Oh wow. So let me ask you, is that similar to like a urgent care?
No,
Or
it's
urgent
not.
care is a little bit, yeah, give me a little bit more background on that.
Okay, so an urgent care is going to be for like minor emergencies.
Okay.
We are a real ER, so anybody can
Mhm.
come in. I had a lady that came in when she had a condition called SVT, where her heart rate was like in the 200s. So we actually
Okay.
do see emergency patients. So we're like a
Mhm.
step up from an urgent care. You would have your doctor's office first, the
Mhm.
urgent care would be next, and then our ER would be the third. So it's just
Okay.
yeah, it's called a freestanding ER.
You know what? I like that. I like that model. That's a
Yeah,
I like that's a good business model that. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Well, God bless you for all you do because I'm pretty sure you see a lot of various different cases that come through. So God bless you for the work that you are doing. And so, okay, so I know that we spoke about the different changes and things in healthcare, and you describe your work as functional nursing and holistic body shaping. I know, recently we talked about behind the scenes some changes that you have coming up with your business. Let's dive right in and talk about it. What's going on?
Okay. So one of the messages that is very important is that everybody is concerned about the new administration, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
try not to talk about the ins and outs of the new administration, but one thing that is very important and one thing that is blatantly clear is
Mm-hmm.
that our healthcare is going to be our own responsibility in the next 3 years. With all of the Medicare cuts, all of the Medicaid cuts, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be needing healthcare services, but they may not have
Mm-hmm.
anywhere to go. And so
Okay.
that's going to shift that healthcare responsibility back on us. And if there's not a better time right now for people, all
Mm-hmm.
individuals, young and old, to learn how to really take care of themselves, the time is now. Really working on their health, their blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, really trying to look at their diet, their food intake, because next year when all these cuts happen, people may be sick and may not have any access to any type of care available. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where my functional nursing comes in, is where
Okay.
I work with clients to help them use natural methods to improve their health versus pharmaceuticals.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Because it's definitely needed. What pivotal moment in your nursing or wellness journey pushed you toward a more holistic approach to healing?
I know that you can't really say this word across social media, so it would be COVID. COVID, if
Okay.
I'm allowed to say that. It would be the
Hmm.
pandemic. I'll just say it
Okay.
like that. So the pandemic
Hmm.
really opened my eyes to the big shift in healthcare. I've been a nurse for
Hmm.
21 years, and I have never seen a time where the government actually controlled what we could do and what we couldn't do and what we could say
Hmm.
and couldn't say. I think a
Hmm.
lot of those things that were hidden are starting to come across or come out as people scroll
Right.
through social media. There are people that are really talking about the what that everybody had to get, and all of
Hmm.
the risk and things that and injuries that people suffered. So I would
Hmm.
say I've always had a love for people and for nursing, and
Hmm.
COVID, the pandemic really was the first time that I really, my hands were handcuffed to really being able to help people in the way that I know that they needed it.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And so your focus is on physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. How do
Yes.
you ensure that each client's experience transformation is in all three areas?
Well, that would be a difficult thing to do for all three because a person may not need all three. So we
Okay.
would do an assessment, and then
Hmm.
the thing that's the most important to that person at that time would be the primary focus, and then we would weave
Hmm.
in the others. I do feel like when you focus on your spiritual part, it
Hmm.
automatically flows into your
Hmm.
physical well-being, because all three are really tied. When you focus on your physical, then it automatically flows into your mental. So, when
Hmm.
you're looking good and feeling good, then you start to think
Hmm.
good, and have
Hmm.
better confidence and things like that. So they're all intertwined. So even though I'm working on one, if I'm working on
Hmm.
two, they're all going to be
Hmm.
connected.
Yeah, and it's all, and at the end of the day, it's all about a person's mindset.
Yes,
And where they're at mentally, because I've seen people go through transformations and I've seen people get all kinds of surgeries and use all of the weight loss drugs and things like that and still have the same mindset they had prior to,
yes,
and it was just like, and I'm like, did you do it for you or did you do it for somebody else? And it's just, being able to get them to understand that when you make any kind of transformation to yourself, you have to be all in. You can't worry about what the next person wants for you. So I totally understand where you're coming from, where it's definitely different layers to where a person is when it comes to, transformation and working on all three areas. So I know your alternative path wellness and transformation center is your company, and I know you're having some major transitions now. Would you care to discuss what's happening with your company?
yes. So I've had a lot of transition over the last couple of months. So in
Mhm.
April, I did my grand opening. I was ready to get out here and truly really help people outside of, like I said, being at the bedside in the medical system where everything is solved with a pill and a bill. I call it a pill and a bill, right?
Mm.
So the thing is that with the economy and how everything is right now, that getting clients into the office has been very difficult because I do still work full time as a nurse. I'm not at a point
Okay.
where the business, I can just work strictly in the business 100%.
Right.
So I am getting ready to close the
Mhm.
main office where people can physically
Mhm.
walk in. But I do have people that are still seeking my services. I have people that
Mhm.
truly believe in me, but most importantly, I believe in myself. And so
Mhm.
now I'm going to transition into doing mobile services, the way I can go
Mhm.
into the person's home and provide all of the treatments that I provide in the office. Um,
Mhm.
just so that way I can still serve the community. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I feel
Mhm.
I'm good at what I do. And
Mhm.
just trying to see and pivot from one part of the business to looking at how I can still do what I love, but in a different
Mhm.
way.
Okay. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. The bottom line is like when we create businesses, things happen and we definitely want to be able to serve the community, but we also want to make sure that we're operating in the capacity that suits us as well. So do you have a brick and mortar, or was everything virtual, or with the before the transformation to the new company?
Yes, ma'am. So I do have an office. It's located in Sugar Land, Texas. And
Okay.
so I have all of my body shaping machines. Like I said, my primary focus is on helping people shape their bodies holistically. Because just
Mhm.
as you mentioned, plenty of people that have done it the other way with the
Mhm.
surgeries, and then there's a place
Mhm.
for surgeries. but I like to focus on the holistic part because I feel like it lasts longer. And then, like you said,
Okay.
kind of working on every aspect. When you go to a plastic
Hmm.
surgeon, they're only looking at the physical part. How can we fix you
Right.
physically, nip, cut, suck stuff out, and then they
Hmm.
send you on your way. And just
Hmm.
like you mentioned, it's really not those results really don't last long. So yes, I
Right.
do have a physical office and I have all of my machines, so someone can come in and make an appointment at the office
Okay.
in Sugarland, Texas.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm like, I was wondering, I'm like, is she taking everything out with her to visit the people, or because I know that can be a lot trying to move different, machinery and things out there, and I wasn't sure if you had mobile equipment that you take to see clients, or if they were able to still come in. So it's good to know that people are still able to come into the office.
No, no, the office is going to be
The
closed.
office is going to be closed. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
when you go to the people, you will have mobile equipment.
Yes, yes. Everything in the
Oh,
office is mobile. So
oh,
I'm
okay.
in the process of looking at a van. I'm actually going to go test drive it later today. So let's
Oh,
hope that this is going to work. I'm going to get a mobile van, and all of my equipment can be in the back. And then based on what
mhm.
service that person wants, I can just put that piece of equipment on wheels and roll it into the person's home to do the same treatments that I would do in the office.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. And let me ask, does for right now, do you accept insurance, or is this a cash based
E-
business?
Everything is cash based, or people can
Okay.
use their flexible spending
Okay.
cards. I do a lot of IV infusions, IV vitamin infusions, and
Hmm.
people can use their cards for that.
Okay. Okay. All right. So y'all hear this, right? So y'all know, when you reaching out to Nurse Jackie, what you doing, okay? Because at this point we definitely want people to basically reach out, sign up, get an assessment, because you definitely need that assessment before you can even get started, because we need to know what she needs to work on first
Yes,
before folks start rolling and thinking they're going to just be, oh, she gonna fix me up, because the thing is, everybody, there's a lot of people out there that's still in the mindset of fix my body, and it's like, but they don't look at the mental piece that comes along with that. So I do love that you're focused on, three aspects of wellness when it comes to all of this, you know. And so let me see. What's one myth about body shaping or functional nursing that you wish people would get rid of?
that it doesn't work. So
Okay.
a lot of people are under the impression that it doesn't work because it's time based. It's not going to
Hmm.
give you the immediate gratification that
Hmm.
going to a plastic surgeon would give you.
Hmm.
It's not going to give you the immediate fix as taking a like the weight loss shots, right? So
Hmm.
the Ozempic, Manjaro, where yes, you're guaranteed to lose weight with the shot, but there's
Hmm.
so many other things that go along with it. So instead of suffering through the side effects, and then as soon as you stop the shot, one of the things they're not being very transparent with is that you're going to gain all of your weight back. So let's just
Exactly.
eliminate the quick fix and let's really work
Hmm.
on looking at everything as a whole to figure out why you're overweight, and let's get to the root cause. So,
Right.
holistic methods really do work. Medicine has a
Hmm.
time, medicine has a place in the system, but
Hmm.
everything should be, you know, we should really start to shift back to fixing ourselves in holistic
Hmm.
care, herbs, and just diet,
Hmm.
just a lot of the things that that we've really gotten away from.
Yes.
But it does
Yes.
work. It does work. It
Oh
just takes a
yeah.
little effort and time. That's all.
But right, and that's what people, I think, lose sight of. The older we get, the harder it is to, lose the weight when we gain a lot of weight, right? And it's just being able to be patient. We live in
Yeah.
a microwave society, and because we in this microwave society, everybody want everything now, 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 and it's like, no, you got the weight on real quick, but no, losing it comes with hard work.
Yeah.
So not only with doing body shaping, but also with exercise, because I'm pretty sure with the plans that you create for people, you have a whole regimen that you ask people to follow.
Yes, ma'am. And I just want to share this one thing that's
Hmm.
very important to me is that I tell people that sometimes being overweight really may not be your fault. There are a lot
Mhm.
of things behind the scenes that people don't realize, that these companies spend millions of dollars into
Mhm.
tricking your mind. They put a lot of chemicals in the food to keep you addicted. So it's not just a battle with yourself, you're actually
Mhm.
battling people with a lot of money that want you to continue to buy their products that may be
Mhm.
leading to your weight gain. So I tell
Mhm.
people, let's stop with the shame and let's stop with blaming yourself, because yes, you're probably
Mhm.
responsible, but there's so many things that people don't know that are put into the food that truly keep us buying and eating it.
Right. Right. You got that right. But the thing one thing I can't stress enough of is reading. Because the thing is we tend to not read as much as we should when it comes to what's inside of the things that we eat.
Yeah.
The back packaging, the medications that we take, we don't read,
Yes.
side effects. We don't, and I think, if we spent more time reading, we would be in a world, we'd be in a whole better place than where we're at, now, with the process of starting a new journey, with trying to heal,
Yes.
from all of the impurities that we've been plagued with. Um, okay. So you've seen people at different stages of their healing journey. What's one common challenge people face that blocks their progress? And how do you help them move through it?
The biggest piece is their environment. Um, the
Mm.
environment, and this is just the truth. Their environment, their friends, their family,
Mhm.
just the people they associate, just the people they associate with. Just me being a nurse at work,
Mhm.
if a rep or a doctor or somebody brings in a dozen donuts and set them on the table, you may have every good intention in the world to not eat that donut. But if
Mhm.
everybody, the fifth person says, "Hey Jackie, are you not going to eat a donut? Dr. So and so brought a donut." You see everybody eating a donut. You feel guilty because somebody brought them in, that you sometimes cave in to the
Mhm.
peer pressure. So I would like to say your environment plays a big
Mhm.
factor into your, a lot of times, into our current health condition.
Mhm. You know what? I have to agree. It is so funny because I had a conversation with somebody about this the other day because I'm like, when I worked in numerous hospitals here in the Philadelphia and New Jersey area, and that was like one of my biggest pet peeves, right? And that was one hospital I worked for. They appreciated their staff, girl. They appreciate their staff. They appreciate their staff monetarily,
Okay.
right? So anything that was like an award that the hospital gave, they appreciated their staff by giving bonuses, right?
Okay.
Girl, I went to this other hospital. They appreciate everybody with food. I don't want your food.
Pizza.
I don't want it, girl. And I said between the pizza parties and the banquets and it was just like and wait a minute, and donuts, because we know that we can't forget the donuts now.
Yes.
And it was just like, we don't want your food.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to be, and it's just like, where do people think that people is just so hungry from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like when you work in healthcare and you work in hospitals, that's their go-to.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
because I guess they feel like, okay, well, if you work in a 12 to 16-hour shift, you're not going to get the nutrients. But the nutrients that y'all providing is not the proper nutrients for people to have.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yeah,
You know?
pizza parties are synonymous with Nurses Week and appreciation, which is kind of crazy.
um, yeah. And it's just like either that or they giving you some damn bag.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if I get another bag, I'm going to scream. And I'm not talking about a bag of money, y'all. I'm talking about just a bag, BAG.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so oh my goodness. So I have to 100% agree with that. The environment that we're in and being able to resist those temptations that come along with us. How do you care for yourself as a healer, caregiver, entrepreneur? How are you caring for yourself, Nurse Jackie? Because you're doing so much for so many.
Yes, ma'am. So what I do is I have my shutdown moments. So
Okay.
just kind of like any electronic or anything like that, sometimes you just have to turn off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll turn my ringer off and turn the TV off, and I just really have some quiet time with myself.
Okay.
I like to read. So I'm currently reading the Ethiopian Bible.
Oh,
That's supposed to be the oldest and most intact Bible that's in history. So
okay.
just really having time to really just decompress. I have a little sit-in sauna at home. It's a wet sauna that I sit in for about 30 minutes, really do a really good
Hmm.
detox. A lot of times
Okay.
I'll fast. So
Hmm.
2 or 3 days a week I'll do like a 12-hour fast just to kind of
Okay.
really give my body a chance to really rejuvenate. Like I said, it's more
Hmm.
than just the outside part of self-care, your nails and
Hmm.
hair. You also have to
Hmm.
do the self-care for the internal part. So just really helping
Okay.
your body heal and reset itself through detox and fasting. So that's how I do my
Hmm.
self-love, is with a combination of things.
Right. I'm glad you said that because, people, the first thing they always go to is hair and nails. They
Hmm.
don't think about all of the internal healing that we need to get done, and it's shocking the number of folks that don't participate in, anything to, really care for themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
And my thing is, go to a spa every now and then. Texas, y'all got some good stuff down there.
Yeah, we do.
And I went to Houston last year, and it just so happened I came when y'all had a tornado. So I have to come back. I have to come back down. Definitely, because I definitely want to, meet up with you and, definitely, learn more about all of the things that you have to offer, and maybe get a service so I can, so I'm definitely gonna do my research. Yeah, y'all, because I'm on my new transformation journey right now, trying to get things. Look, I'm trying to get things right because at the end of the day, it's only one us.
Yes, that's it.
It's only one you. You get one body, one life, one chance. You got to do this. You got to be able to make these transformations and do all of the right things for you. So, for someone feeling stuck in their wellness journey, what's one simple thing that they can do today to start shifting their energy and their direction?
I think the first thing is that you need to identify why you want to do it. It kind of
Mhm.
goes back to what you said before, was,
Mhm.
why are you doing all these things? Are you really doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for others? So the first
Mhm.
step is to identify why you want to do it, and
Mhm.
then what your outcomes or what your goals are. And I'm a person
Mhm.
that says keep it simple.
Mhm.
Keep it simple. So instead of saying that you want to lose 60 pounds in 60 pounds in the next 3 months, let's just make it a simple and say that I want to learn and read about intermittent fasting. Because once you learn and
Mhm.
read about intermittent fasting, that in turn will help you reach your goal of
Mhm.
losing 60 pounds in three
Mhm.
months. So
Mhm.
I would say that would be the first thing that someone needs to do, is identify why, and then keep
Mhm.
whatever their goal is simple.
Okay. Okay. Look, I totally agree. Look, I'm on that bandwagon because the thing is, we need people to be able to identify more with themselves, with the choices that they're making so that they can really know what their why is.
Yeah.
And so, with choosing an alternate path, what can clients expect that from you that they won't get anywhere else?
Well, I've been a nurse for 21 years, so I've seen a lot. I've worked in a lot of different aspects of healthcare, and
Mhm.
I'm very transparent. So,
Mhm.
and I'm an authentic person. So,
Mhm.
and I like to tell the truth. So, I guess those are all kind of the same thing. And
Mhm.
I'm good at what I do. I really do have a passion for people. I really
Mhm.
have a passion for helping take care of people. I feel like my spiritual gift is the gift of servitude.
Okay.
So, and how I
Mm.
like to serve people, and I just really like it when people start to feel good again, when they come
Mhm.
back to me and I'm like, man, I never knew that skipping breakfast, 4 days a week would make me feel so more energetic during the day. And so
Mhm.
that makes me feel like just being able to educate people and work them through the
Mhm.
small things can make some of the biggest changes. So,
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Look, I think the thing is being able to start readjusting our schedules and how we do things, and implementing different ways, whether it's starting a new diet program, starting a exercise program, just creating new habits.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And like I
That's like
said,
the most important thing. Yep. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, and I was gonna say is that I think the transparency part is just really, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, about the foods and the chemicals and what they do.
Mhm.
And sometimes when you go and reach for those Oreos, it may not just be you. It may be the things that they're doing to the food that keeps you addicted. And a lot of people
Mhm.
don't know that or don't realize or recognize those things. So
Mhm.
just I like to look at everything from all aspects.
And I'm glad you used the A word because that's a word that people try not to use with food, and that's addiction. Yes, you can be addicted to
Yes.
food, and that's where I think when people think of addiction, the first thing they think of is drugs, alcohol, cigarettes.
Yeah.
They don't think about food. They don't think about gambling, which we know both of those addictions do exist. So I'm glad you used that. And I agree. There is ingredients. I'm not going to say stuff, ingredients in the food that can be highly addictive.
Hmm.
And is us as consumers being able to do our research on what are those ingredients so that we know to start taking ourselves away from it,
Yes. And
you
I'm
know.
going to be that person if someone were to work with me,
Mhm.
and I've already done a lot of the research, so I'm just going to share with you some of the things that I myself have discovered through
Mhm.
researching and opening up those packets with all of the warnings of side effects and things like that. Because I truly
Mhm.
have been into the functional medicine thing for like 4 years, and I have
Mhm.
truly learned a lot. And when I tell people things and they work with me, their eyes are truly open.
Mhm. And that's a good thing. I my thing is it's all about learning. And one thing I can say, we learn something new every day as long as we're open to
Yes,
learning it and not trying to challenge people. And I know in your profession you get people challenging you all the time, I'm sure. Because
I
people
do. I
because
do.
people think they know every damn thing. And it's just
Yeah.
like, yo, you need to take 5 minutes and actually listen
Yes. Yes.
instead of being extra.
Yes. And I think one of the biggest challenges is that people feel like a pill is going to fix everything. And we've been
Mhm.
so conditioned to, if I have a cough, let me go to the doctor and get a pill. Well, that cough
Mhm.
may not need a pill, it just may need some time. It just may need a little bit, a teaspoon of honey. It may need
Mhm.
to gargle with some salt water. Back
Right.
in the day, we never went to the doctor. I grew up, I'm 47. I grew up in a time where you didn't run to the doctor every time you sneeze or cough or had a scrape on your
Mhm.
knee. Big Mama and fix that with something in the kitchen.
Right. That's right. That's right. And
Yeah,
the thing is like, but I think what's happened is we don't have too many more big mamas out there. And
yeah,
it's like, and if we do have a big mama, there's kids are scared of 'em.
yeah. That's true.
They scared of them. They called them in. They did something. They ain't did nothing to you but fix you. That's all. That's all.
Yes,
People so busy calling the people on everybody. And what I mean by the people, y'all know what I'm talking about. The
yeah,
law, government, all those folks, bringing people into your business, instead of being able to start working on the problems yourselves. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show.
yes, ma'am.
So this was awesome. So, do you have any programs or retreats coming up in the horizon?
Yes, so I'm working on doing some digital products, and I've so what I've done is for the last 30 days, I've tried to figure out a way that even though my office is closing to where I can still help people, whether they want me
Hmm.
to put my hands on them or whether they want me to help them with something mentally. So I've
Hmm.
come up with a series of workbooks that I take my training as a nurse and I teach
Hmm.
people how to use my skills or nursing skills that can really help them with their
Hmm.
mental and spiritual health. And so the first part of my series is called Code Calm, like a code blue. It's called Code Calm. Pause like a
Oh,
nurse. And so in this
okay.
workbook, I teach people that when we're like, as a nurse, when we're in an emergency situation, sometimes we have to pause to think through the process, because if we
Hmm.
just act immediately, that could cost someone their life. Well, you can take that same pause and apply it to
Hmm.
your life when you're in stressful situations.
Right.
So I teach people, like, if you're in a stressful situation, that your brain your brain function automatically has one idea, but if you just
Mhm.
pause, think like a nurse, put your gloves on, assess the
Mhm.
situations, are the vitals good? Maybe that one response you initially were going to do can be changed
Mhm.
into the correct response, and to help
Okay.
people work through those confrontational moments. I think a lot
Mhm.
of people are just angry. You know, you see these videos of people just acting out in stores and airports and just,
Mhm.
so I think we just need to help with the mental health aspect, but not again with a pill, with a
Right.
process.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. And so, yes, those digital products, when will the first be ready for people to purchase?
Probably around the end of September. I have my
Okay.
graphic designer finishing up everything. I'm trying to put together some marketing for the workbook, and it's just something personal,
Mhm.
that I came up with to see again how I can be effective and really truly keep up with my passion as I'm going through the
Mhm.
business transition to truly help people.
Okay. Look, I love it. That's going to be awesome. You definitely have to come back on and let us know about the digital when the digital products is ready, because we definitely want to support you and support your business. With getting these products out and getting the word out so everybody to know about what you have, all the things that you have to offer. So we're going to do a quick rapid fire. What is one word to describe your work?
Transformational.
Okay. Oh, okay. And what is a self-care must-have?
Accountability.
Whoa. Ooh, I know that's right. Accountability is big.
Yes, ma'am.
That is really big, because we definitely got to hold ourselves accountable for that, for being able to maintain and manage our own self-care
Yes.
and our own self-care journeys. What is your favorite quote or mantra?
Quote or mantra.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'm kind of weird when it comes to that. So there is a because I like to do a lot of science stuff. So there's this
Okay.
thing that Nikola Tesla has said. He said the secret to the universe is going to be found in energy, vibration, and frequency.
Okay.
So if you want to
Okay.
think of the terms of solving a lot of our problems and issues that we as humans have, is you're going to find that in the answer of frequency and energy,
Hmm. I
vibration.
Okay. Okay. I can understand that. I can understand that.
Yeah,
I can.
your energy is to me is important, and it ties into what you're talking about, the mental,
Mhm.
spiritual,
Mhm.
and physical aspect. Is everything starts with
Mhm.
yourself and your energy, how you portray, how you people see you, how do you
Mhm.
treat yourself, those kind of things.
Yeah, I look, I get it. I get it. Because energy is very big, and so I love that. I love that mantra. This was awesome.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, Nurse Jackie, for coming on and talking to us about your wellness and transformation center. I love this for you that you're transitioning out of brick and mortar and being able to be in more areas, because now this is going to, coming out of the office is definitely going to put you into a lot more homes. It's going to give you a lot more broad exposure. And I love this for you.
Yes,
This is going to be awesome. This is going to
yes.
be awesome.
Gotta if God knows my heart and he knows my mission. So in my another thing I want to say, I guess at this stage of my life, I'm pivoting but not pausing.
That's right. I know that's right. There's no such thing as pause right now.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
just you're pivoting into a new direction that's going to bring you so much joy at this point, because at this point is in life is just finding what what makes you happy and what can provide you joy. Being able to be in an environment working where it's like, oh, whether I'm getting paid to do it, I love what I do regardless. And this is going to bring you so much abundance, wealth abundance. Oh
Okay.
my goodness, this is going to be big. It's bigger than what you already know.
All right.
And that's because of all of the areas and avenues that you've been in, as far as with working and everything, stepping outside of the box. What I mean by stepping outside of the box, you stepped outside of the box from being in a traditional hospital to being in a standalone emergency room. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look at your career path, all of this has been aligned. All this is your
Okay.
destiny. All of this has been aligned for the path that you're on. You know what I mean? So you're going from being in your own standalone office, not
Yes.
really being in your own office, to now being in a place where now more people get to see you, get to experience you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
And
much. That made
so,
me feel. That made me feel. Sometimes having somebody to kind of still give you that little piece or moment of inspiration is so much needed, and I appreciate that.
yeah, look, you got this. You got this. You got this, and like I said, this is bigger than what you know and what you realize. And so I wish you nothing but much success and many blessings. And if there's anything myself and my show Tyra's Just Saying can do for you, just let us know and we got you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, everyone, thank you, Dr. Jackie, for coming on and talking to us today. Her company, the Alternate Path Wellness and Transformation Center. God bless you. Everybody, have an amazing weekend, and we will see you soon. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.